What up, y'all? We back another episode of Bull Rad. We don't stop. We keep going. It's been a slow little week, but we got some things to talk about. Though, tell you the truth, shit's crazy out here as always. Really, with the new drill, you feel me? And all these bodies, every dude's getting killed left and right. You talk about K Flock. How the hell he get a song with Cardi B? First of all, was that song like? I'm wondering because did he go to jail before that song was? I think he did the song obviously before it was made, but was Cardi B on it before he went to jail? I don't know. That's crazy. I doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely recorded his verses before he went to jail, but that's the kind of shit that happens in the industry. Rappers will record verses, whether it's pretty new or they stashed it for 6 months, a year, whatever it may be, as long as it's somewhat relevant. And then dude gets a little bit of clout, catches a body, or allegedly now he's in the bin, and all of a sudden Cardi B is on the track and they're putting something out. It's just because he's got clout, and that's the sad thing about it is you go out there and if you shoot somebody, you get clout, or if you get shot and survive, you're rap royalty immediately. You know what I mean? Like immediately, it's all about who got shot. So yeah. Sad thing is did they have that song planned? Or did they just have his verse, in the box waiting to go, and all of a sudden now he's popping, so Cardi B jumps on it, chasing that clout. It's sad, but that's some fuck shit they do in this industry. That's just how it be.
Wow, because I don't know if it's some gang affiliation or some Bronx shit. She looking out for the Bronx or what it is, because he bringing a lot of light to the Bronx. But is it because of that body? That's what I'm saying. It's crazy, that's sad for real if that's the case. Because that means they're not relying on his skill, because they like him because of he allegedly killed somebody.
I mean, that's kind of the way she's got to go, Cardi B, because her direct her direct competition is going to be Nicki, and Nicki is kind of mainstream, and obviously Cardi's mainstream too, but she's got to kind of go with the gangster route a little bit. So, she picks up with a neighborhood guy, someone out of her borough, who just caught a body. So he's popping in the street, people talking about how he's alive. And now all of a sudden she's got to be raw about it. So she jumps on the track with him because he's got the street clout, and that's what she's trying to go at. She's not trying to be Nicki rapping a little 12-year-old white girls. She's trying to get all the people that are into the drill scene and shit. So, it's a business move. It is what it is. Yeah, but that's pretty much how I imagine it went down.
But Nicki got a new song with the Lil Baby, and she's rapping about like killing the ops, and I'm a rider and I'm killing ops. Then next
she might be. I mean, she's a wild bitch. You ever seen them videos of her in the strip club, bro? When she was back in her day stripping, like she was.
No, I'm talking about Nicki, not Cardi B.
Oh, Nicki. Oh yeah, well that's because she's jumping on trying to get that clout too. You know what I mean? Plus, I don't know. She's been going through some dark shit. Or what was it? Her father was killed. He got hit by a car out on Long Island like 6 months ago or some shit like that.
Oh really?
Her father, right?
Her brother got accused of some rape shit and went to
jail.
No,
I knew that, but I'm pretty sure her father was killed crossing a street just randomly. He was hit by a car, nothing crazy. But, he was hit by a car, I believe, and that was out.
So that's putting her in that mode to be looking.
Yeah, she's living in dark times right now.
Wow.
Plus, I mean, how many "I Love You" songs can she do with Drake?
Yeah, you're right. And I guess that's where the industry is going right now. They want to hear that shit, so obviously they do.
Violence,
because it's all about violence now, unfortunately. And what you think K Flock career gonna look like if he get off on this case, because they saying he might get off?
I mean, I'm not a huge fan, to be honest. Like, he's all right. I don't see the skill. Obviously, he's going off the cloud of being in the street and being hood, and that shit's a flash in the pan. Like, he'll be hot if he beats the charge. He'll be hot for 6 months off of that alone. If at that point he comes with the heat and puts out a couple bangers, then he might pop off in a big way. But to be honest, I don't see him doing much unless he gets a ghostwriter. Seriously, he was live. He was going to be live prior to the murder, but now
He's definitely a nice rapper, yeah. But I found myself listening to his song and stuff like, oh, okay, because I guess they pumping it so much, you know what I mean, and
yeah. And I mean, the dude, he's not bad. He's not bad. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it comes down to is like the lyrics. The lyrics are always going to be all right. Nobody's out there putting out terrible lyrics and getting a name for themselves. And it comes down to the production and the beats. So as long as his name is popping in the streets off of something like a murder, allegedly, that's when he's going to get production value behind him. He's going to get a big name producer. He's going to get big beats, and that's where you're going to get. That's where you're going to get good songs out of it. These days, it's sad to say, but the people aren't really into the lyrics these days. You know what I mean? They're just really not, and if they are, they're into that really raw drill type shit, where it's just, let me say the craziest shit I ever can. And that's about it. But, we don't have too many lyricists out here anymore, to be honest. It's sad to say. It really is sad to say.
Wow. And it started really like this whole gang intertwining with hip hop. I think we touched on this before, but like really this drill stuff for real. I think it kind of started with CHIEF Keef. That's what I was thinking as I analyzed the game, because really with that Smoking Tuka, CHIEF Keef was the first one to say that, on the big song. And since then it's been crazy, so basically you think like is drill good for hip hop, or is drill like, because I don't know, I'm on the fence about this. I'll tell you how I feel in a minute, but I think it all started with the CHIEF Keef. He started talking about smoking hookah, and he bringing in his neighborhood beefs into the masses, and now people worldwide saying smoking hookah, and then now everybody's smoking each other left and right all across the country. You feel me?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of on the fence about it, to be honest. I mean, I was born in the 80s, so I came up with gangster rap. That's my shit. I love it. I can't lie. It's entertaining and I love it, but there was some truth behind it back in the day. But there's a big difference between, like what is now called classic, I guess. So classic gangster rap was different. Like the rappers we were into when I was younger, these guys, they were big, bro. They were hitting the weights, they were out, they were throwing hands in the street. And then if it got too crazy, that's when they resorted to the guns and whatnot. Yeah. But nowadays, these kids, they're all fucking stick figures. They're all malnourished and dehydrated.
You're right.
So none of them are throwing fades on each other. I'd like to see interviews with these kids, all these shooters, 3-4 years after they get locked up, and how their first year went when they went in there with no hands, no meat on their bones, didn't have a stick on them anymore. Like, how'd your life go for 6 months when you got there? I bet you didn't eat shit. Bet you got extorted like crazy. If you had money, that shit all got taken.
But you know what? If you gang affiliated, don't go down like that, homie.
Yeah, but you know what? Bottom line is, gangs still have issues, and the bottom line is, if you're in a yard and shit goes down, you gotta poke somebody. And if you ain't about that and you ain't nice with the hands, you're gonna learn quick. You're gonna learn quick. That's the bottom line. But all these kids, they're all worried about guns and switches and 30-round clips. You don't got none of that shit when you get to jail. You got to get up super close. When somebody's blood sprays in your mouth, that's a whole different fucking story. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying cats ain't ready for it. They're built like that. They got to do what they got to do. You live violent. It's just a different side of it. Like, these kids better start hitting the weights, man. So that's all I'm saying. But yeah, I don't see a lot of longevity in this genre of music, because they're out killing people. So they're either going to get killed or they're going to wind up in jail. So I don't see drill making it too far. But it's definitely,
he's been out for a long time.
No doubt. But you notice there's a lot of new names, and they come out for a few months and then they're gone. They don't last. There's just not a lot of longevity in this situation where you're shooting every day.
Yeah, it's sort of like the NFL or whatever. A lot of dudes, only a couple gonna make it like really to the far. Like, you got Lil Durk, he's succeeding, and he's in another stratosphere where he can be touched like everybody can, but he's on another level. You know what I mean? But you still got these drill rappers dying left and right all across the United States, getting killed. And then they saying, oh, he just did an Instagram on this other rapper, or he just did a video on this rapper, and then he got killed. Like they said, FBG Cash was in front of King Von's mural, putting up the middle finger.
Yeah.
And then like he got killed a couple. Like it's just, I don't know. I know it's got something to do with the gang stuff, but hip hop got to do something with it. If they're hearing a song and people are playing it or whatever, and if they dissing your dead homeboy in the song, shit like that, it got to amplify it, shit like crazy.
Of course, I mean, even if you weren't necessarily a shooter, you know, or you weren't into to killing people, if somebody does a song about your boy who just got killed and now they're out there doing a diss track and they're kicking candles and shit, that's gonna make some people act differently than they normally would. You know, if one of my best friends were to be killed in the street and then all of a sudden, you know, they're you know, they're writing over his mural and they're kicking candles, or they're going to his house and taking pictures in front of his house while holding fucking gats and whatnot, like, I'd be fucking super pissed. And if I had money, I'd put money in the street to fix it. And if I didn't have money, I'd be creeping low with gloves and a mask. And that's the bottom line.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's crazy. But yeah, as far as longevity in this scene, as long as they keep getting fresh bodies, both, you know, on their belt and in their crews to keep rapping, then they're all right. But every drill rapper that's out there in the street really doing it isn't going to be around too long. He's either going to catch a case or, you know, get bodied, and that's it. And that's it. So I don't see this situation lasting too long. I think the music's going to have to change somewhere.
Wow, I just wonder if Chief Keef is the one that made up that Smoking Tuga. That's just some gang shit that came from Chicago. And he incorporated the song. You feel me?
I think that's just some gang shit that came up. He mentioned it. He's got a lot of voice. You know, he's got a big voice, and people got down on that now too.
And it'd be sad because the ones that be getting killed don't even be the killer niggas. Like they said, Tuka was a good dude, young dude. He just happened to be from that other side and got killed. He was a young boy too. And then dudes talking about smoking Tuka, you feel me? And then just kick off a whole new world of evil to where it's like we murdering and we laughing about your dead. That's the big thing. That's the main thing. Feel me?
Yeah, but like you said, it's young cats to be doing that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, once you get like 19, 20 years old, like basically once you're allowed to start drinking, that's when they kind of chill out. But like the shooters have always been the 14, 15, 16-year-old kids. You know, they're young. They're old enough to be out hanging around with the big boys, but they're young still. They don't have a name. And these days, a lot of young cats are ignorant to life, and they think the best way to get a name is to go out and start shooting shit, you know? So some of them make it through that, you know? But it's usually the younger cats that are into that. And once they get a little bit older, they start to value and respect life a little bit. And once they start touching some real paper, they realize, oh shit, I kind of want to stick around. I got something to lose now.
Mm-hmm. 456 Casino said it came from How High. That's where they got it from. Okay, yeah, that makes some sense. Remember when they rolled up the dead they homies, smoked them?
Yeah, that sounds ignorant enough.
But shit, it came from
smoking Ben Franklin. Smoking that ivory.
Oh man. Yep. But I think we failed on our attempts to get Crip Mac, and I think he back locked up too, or some shit like that. So they said he locked up. So I'm gonna look into that, but I don't think we're gonna get him. So fuck it. We on to the next. You know what I mean? I just wanted to talk to him a little bit. That's all. You heard that him and Lupe, that girl Lupe, she on OnlyFans. Did I tell you about that? You should subscribe to it.
Like I said, man, ain't nobody want to see that.
Disgusting. But yeah, that's crazy. But it's just crazy. So,
Lupe Fiasco would do bigger numbers on OnlyFans.
Lupe Fiasco. I ain't want to see that shit either, but
neither do I. But you know, I don't know. Kick Push will do higher numbers than this one.
Man. So yeah, drill rap out of control. But at the same time, the shit is hard to not be a fan when they pumping it in your ear left and right, certain songs and shit like that. But yo, a lot of shootings been going down. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Worldwide. It's crazy. Before we go into that next thing, touch on that because you urban guy. I mean, rural. You come up in the neighborhood, right? Suburbs and shit.
Absolutely.
How many of your friends coming up had access to guns and shit like that?
A good amount, but a lot. I knew a lot, to be honest, a lot. Yeah, but exactly. It was different. Like my town was different. It's different. Like I can tell you for sure. Like none of my friends were running around with guns. Really, there was a couple kids who got involved with that. One kid I know got caught up doing something that we typically did, which was fighting. There was a lot of fighting going on in my neighborhood back in the day. Like when I was in high school, kids were all about two things: steroids and baseball batting people. Some people got really fucking hurt. You know what I mean? People just massive brawls and shit like that. But nobody went to guns because everybody wanted to be around to do it next weekend. But the town next to me was getting it real popping for a minute. Spring Valley was going off with the guns. Havistraw always had burners. It's still to this day, it's still going down in Havistraw. The Valley will always do what it does. There's no doubt about that. Shout out Spring Valley. But they keep it lower at least now. This shit's indoor. But, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, that shit was open air. People were going hard out there, especially up top on the hill, Ewing, Stone, all them blocks, the Hershey spot before that shut down. But now they plowed everything down. It's got condos. There's cameras on every corner. You don't do shit up there. But that was a popping area for a minute. People were always going crazy up there. I mean, it still goes down, but again, like I said, it's behind closed doors. But yeah, not so much in my neighborhood, but the surrounding area, places we hung out. Yeah, there was a lot of guns around back then, but they kind of cleaned it up for a while, and now it's starting to get wild again.
Mm-hmm. They got a lot of. Is it segregated up there, or what? There's a lot of what's going
on. Not really segregated. Just towns tend to be towns. Like obviously I'm in the suburbs, so we don't have blocks. You know what I mean? We have neighborhoods. So like my neighborhood is primarily white. It's mainly a Jewish neighborhood. So that means we have low crime and everybody has a grass cut, But then you have Havistraw, which is mainly Spanish. You have Puerto Rican and then a lot of Dominicans, all Dominicanos in Havistraw. Awesome people, you know what I mean? Great neighborhood, hang out in there. It can get a little wild from time to time, but man, if you want some good food, you want a good haircut, go to Havistraw. That's how that goes. And then you got Spring Valley, which is primarily, Black and Spanish, but also Hasidic Jewish because they bleed in from Muncie. But it's a lot of Haitians up there, a lot of Ecuadorians. But in general, just like decent people. But yeah, so I guess it's kind of segregated, but everybody hangs out. Everybody went to Nyack, everybody was in Nanuet. Everybody goes to all the bars in Pearl River. There's a couple clubs in Spring Valley. People from my neighborhood sometimes ventured over there. I started working over there when I was 18, 19. So I started hanging out with everybody there. And I just had a good time, man. People were real. People were legit. They weren't on some fuck shit. They didn't act like they were better than nobody. And I like that better.
Mm-hmm.
But I still, all my people were from like New City, West Nyack, and anyway, it's straight suburbs. It's straight suburbs without a doubt. But
so guns was never an issue. Like you never had friends that, this dude got all kind of assault rifles and shit like that. You know what I mean?
No, I personally owned guns for a while. I went up selling them off, but like a lot of people did. People like collections. People go hunting, target shooting. There's a lot of people that go target shooting near me. There's a lot of guns near me, but people don't pull them out and use them on people. You know what I mean? It's just not necessary, and you get fucking caught. I don't know.
So this dude, fucking bastard asshole who never could mind his own business, pass some money that I pay him to bring him on my channel and shit. He gets on my fucking nerves though. Charleston White. Now Meek Mill made a statement about his friends that are going down, YSL, all that's happening. But Meek was actually friends with these dudes. They did work together. They did they did their shit together. So they obviously formed a friendship. Now the man Thug, he hasn't been convicted yet. So all Meek Mill said is free Young Thug and free YSL. Now this dude, Charleston White, got a platform. His bitch ass get on there talking about Meek Mill Why the fuck you want to say free YSL? Why you he can get on Meek Mill now all of a sudden because he said free Young Thug and free YSL. Now, what kind of dickhead shit is that? I'm saying, like, I understand you want to have a topic, you want to be in the news and everything else, but you attacking another dude for saying free some other dudes who didn't even get convicted yet. Like, that's why I'm saying I got a problem with this dude. He the main reason I think why we ain't get Crip Mac too.
Yeah, nah, he fucked that up for us because he's a fucking idiot. He starts chirping in people's ears about unrealistic shit, but the people he's talking to are stupid.
Yeah.
And they listen to him, you know what I'm saying? But guess what? Now they got no money and we got no business, and he's laughing because neither of us got shit. Because he's a fucking crab. He's a crab. Plus, yo, he's sitting there talking about Meek Mill's like, yo, who's Meek Mill's to comment on YSL? He's a rapper and they're rappers, you know?
Yeah.
So like, they're in the same genre. They probably stepped in the same room and hung out with each other. Who is this fucking guy to question either of them?
Exactly.
Like, for real, like, oh my God.
He's all pissed off. He's like, he's attacking all kind of people in the statement where he's really going at Meek Mill for simply saying free Young Thug and free YSL.
He's like he's like that little bitch in high school who like was mad short and would get bodied by anybody, yet continuously talk shit. And like nobody fucks him because you're like, really, you're gonna go at this kid? But he knew that, so that's why he pops off. So we need to smack this motherfucker. But then, fuck this guy. Like, yo, they're out there shadow banning decent people like Joe Rogan and shit like that. You know, and all these awesome guys are out there shadow banning them on the internet. They need to take crabs like this fucking guy out. Like, start shadow banning this guy. Make it so nobody can find his bullshit.
Yeah, he's like he
sucks.
Just running his mouth on some bullshit and creating bullshit. That's what he's here for, like a little fucking girl, man, for real.
People need to police the internet. A clown like this doesn't deserve to be out there spreading his bullshit and fucking up like the camaraderie that needs to come with people that are involved in the business. Like, you know, 20, 30 years from now, YouTube is going to be just like a main platform. Like commercial TV is not going to be around very long. YouTube is going to be what people watch. We're on the forefront of it. We're trying to get this thing rolling. We're all doing our own thing to make it move. And this guy's out here spreading hate, trying to tear people down. Fuck the business up. And he's talking about shit he ain't got nothing to do with. Me and you observe this shit and discuss it. He's in there throwing names around like he fucking knows, dude. Like, yo, no.
Nah, he's a piece of shit. I'm sorry.
That's the only thing about the internet too, and that fucks up this younger generation. They don't understand how face-to-face conversations go. That, you know, majority of their conversations are going to be on the internet, whether it's, you know, through texting or, you know, YouTube comments and IG comments and posts on every platform. That's the way they interact. Like, they don't really know. Like, if you're out talking to someone wild in the street, they're gonna slap you in their fucking mouth. Like,
mouth. And dude looks like a smoked out. Remember we talked about the new kids, how they look. He looks like an old version. He looks like a smoked out like crackhead. It's like, wow,
like a fucking Zanny freak who just can't handle life and needs to step away for hours at a time, days at a time, and they just have no, like, I don't know. They just don't know what's going on in the world. But my problem is on the internet, it's always been an issue, people running their mouths on the internet. But like these days, it's kind of different because a lot of the internet is live. So you're seeing where people are at and what they're doing. And we've seen it already. People slide on people because they know where they're at based on their Instagram feed. That's pretty wild. Like, that's something I didn't have to deal with coming up. Like, everybody knowing where I'm at, what I'm doing, or I can not post and not have a life. Like, personally, I'd rather not have a life than to lose my life because somebody saw me at a restaurant. You know, but that happens every day to people out there. Like, people post where they're at, what they're doing, and someone shows up on them. Someone needs to go and slap this dude up. Like, you know, don't take him out the game. Just, you know, rattle a tooth or something. Like, make him think. He looks in the mirror, have him think about something.
Yeah, he already missing one tooth in the front, I think. So yeah,
somebody's got to even him out. Get that other side going.
For real, because his mouth is like a fucking diarrhea. You feel me?
Where's he from?
He's from Texas.
Oh, come on. There's nobody in Texas wants to slap this dude. Like,
there's a lot of people in Texas want to slap him, but I guess he got his people with him or whatever. He got his following or whatever. But
Texas could be wild though. Like, who knows who he knows and rolls with. But he's just on some bitch shit. Like, if you're gonna talk shit on the internet, go with something decent, something hard. Like, don't fucking be telling Crip Mac bullshit, chirping in his ear and get him to just fade away and do nothing. Like, obviously, dude was hurting. Like, he was hurting for money. And then you're in his ear telling him to get more. Why do you think he's broke now? Because he stopped working because nobody's willing to pay that.
It's over for him. His shit was his vibe, his whole movement, you know, it slowed down. He ain't really lit like he was, you know what I mean? And this dude,
they never even responded to my email.
Yeah.
In my email, I told him, I was like, don't be a custer. Like, get with this.
You got Charleston White constantly bringing up, you know, names, creating situations by talking shit about people and really, because he got a platform, is going to go. So your name is going to be out there. You feel me? But Crip Mac is somebody who don't do that. He just thinks it's good enough to be him and go to the store or whatever else. But really, that shit dies out after a while. You know, everybody is, you know, so his price was good. He should have stuck with it, got his little bread, got his little couple of dollars. The fuck?
You know, people go viral and, you know, like they try to ride the wave. You know, he did. Like, people go viral and you don't hear about him 3 days. You know what I mean? It's over and done with. But everybody knew what happened. Crip Mac rocked for a solid 6 months, man. People were behind him. He was legit. You know what I mean? He was super entertaining. He was definitely funny. Everything we say about him, we're just fucking around and kidding. Obviously, like, want to see dude do well. You know, he had a chance, but you know, he also is involved in a life that doesn't really allow you to do much else. You know what I mean? And that life's always going to come around. And you say now he's back in jail. That's sad. Like, that's terrible. Obviously, don't want to see that. But yeah, it's messed up because this dude jumped in his ear and started telling him, like, you need to be getting more money than what you're getting. And he was getting a pretty decent amount for, you know, we talking for like a half hour, just having a cool conversation with some people. Like, I wanted to talk to him, like, yo, like I said, he's mad entertaining and whatever.
I'll
like,
get another situation because I'm really disturbed about how he had the little boy in there, but you already know that. But yeah, and it was going to be another situation. It was going to be good, but he fucked it up. His man fucked it up. I don't know, but hey, it's okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're out here, they're telling people the wrong thing. You know what I mean? And what are they trying to, like, these, like, he's the type of dude that ruined, you know, television industry, you know, with a you need more money. Like, yo, don't worry about what this guy needs. Like,
mind your business, man.
Yeah, for real. Unless you're offering him an interview to come on your channel and talk, do you have nothing else to say to this guy? And you certainly don't have anything to say to him about his fucking money. He's a grown man. It's his money. I'm sure he's got a manager, someone behind him helping him out. Like, and all you did was you get in his ear and you fucked it up because we didn't hear back from him. So that means everybody else that was in business with him at that point got snubbed, or else they got their rate like tripled, and nobody went for it because you didn't see him on the internet no more. And then what? He had to probably go back out in the street, and look what happens.
Yep. He got into shit with all the big platforms. I think he got shit with Adam 22, and like he ain't been out there no more. No one gives a fuck about him, and it's just sad because he could have got a couple dollars from Bull Rad. Hey.
I'm saying, but you know, whatever, we'll look into it and see what the deal is. But whenever he comes back, we'll get him on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I say when he gets out, we just have him on. We don't, you know, like, we just give him whatever he wants and we just have him on. You know what I mean? Like, instead of a Patreon or something like that at the same time too. You know, so someone's gonna do that. Someone will watch platform will probably have him on, see what's up. Like, he went away in the middle of his story. Yeah, he got quiet for a few weeks or a month or two, but that's because someone got in his ear about the money. He didn't do too much damage. He could still get it out here. Like, so when he gets out, get a couple dollars. Hopefully he comes home soon. Hold your head and do your biz, kid. Yo, but he's a live dude. Like, when we started seeing his videos and shit, like, he's up in there fucking squabbling. Like, he gets down, you know what I mean? Like, he's into that shit. He's gangbanging. He's for real, you know what I mean? And now he just went to summer camp for the gangbangers. Like, he's out there trying to be an all-star.
For sure.
You know, he's into that shit. Like, that's a whole different lifestyle. But, you know, hopefully he gets home soon and is able to get back on and get straightened out. And
yeah, because Malcolm Taylor, you're right. He be giving food to the homeless. And 456 Casino said, I actually saw a video that Crip Matt, because he has mental, he has, I guess he's trying to say mental issues, mental problems, and he has somebody that takes care of his finances and his well-being. Yeah, I could believe that, you know, but
no, it makes sense. I mean, he did a video about mental illness and stuff like that. Like he did it. I saw he did a video about it. I don't think I watched it. I don't think so, but I remember seeing the title. Like, yeah, he discussed it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, let's just be fair. When you look at him, does he look like he's just a square ass dude? No, he's a wild cat. You know what I mean? He's got some shit going on. It is what it is. But
go ahead.
You know, at least he's got somebody there looking out for him. So hopefully, like, he's got a few dollars put away, something. He wasn't out there really spending crazy money, so I don't know what kind of money he was getting, but he was doing all right. He was paying his bills. He was living, maintaining.
Yeah,
hopefully he can continue to do so when he gets out.
Indeed. And there's other people. Look into some other people that we could, you know, pay to come on the show and bring up our numbers, and so I could figure out. But I want somebody who I got a problem with, because I don't like. I just want to, you know, I want to get, I want to discuss some things. It ain't gonna be a regular interview if I'm paying somebody. You better believe that.
If we can get somebody, see, the thing is, if that's the way, we got to find somebody that can tolerate having a real conversation, not someone who's just gonna and fucking scream at people for 20 minutes. That's not content. You know what I mean? That's trash. But like, if we can get someone in here who we have a general disagreement with in there, or, you know, in the way that they conduct business, and even if we just have a personal question about how they conduct business and we don't see eye to eye on it, and we press somebody, it'd be good to get a conversation back instead of just a puffed up chest and a lot of bullshit talk. Like,
yeah, for sure. You know what I mean?
But, yeah, if we can find somebody, some real people out here who are willing to defend their stance and to have a conversation about it, then we should absolutely discuss that shit.
Mm-hmm. I don't like really how Cardi B, a mother and such a big representative, is jumping on this drill wave and jumping on. Well, your boy ain't been charged, K Flock, with the murder, but like, why the fuck is she deciding to push that wave, knowing how detrimental it is and how much bodies are dropping behind this type of, you know, vibe? This real drill music is about, like, the ones, if you don't have a reputation for certain things, just like my boy from Brooklyn, 22G's, he just got bagged up on like a couple attempted murders and shit like that from shooting up shit. He's a star. He was a guy that we met. He's a guy that was getting money out here basically, and he just got locked back up. Like, but why would Cardi B, somebody of that stature, decide to, like? That's just, to me, it's like, man, I don't like that, to tell you the truth, because she's a mother. You know what I mean? She know what's going on with that drill shit. Her old ass over there with them kids.
I mean, she probably knows better than a lot of people, because she's probably friendly with people that are heavy into that scene. Obviously, I mean, you know, she's a big famous singer, you know, but she's definitely from the hood. There's no doubt about it. You know what I mean? And just because people like your music and put you on doesn't mean that your life changes. Now, I don't understand or know of her politics on the situation specifically, but she is getting involved with the scene and you know, drawing attention to it and promoting it. So yeah, I mean, maybe she's probably just trying to get money, and that's what's going down. And like, that's the people she's affiliated with and knows, you know, from prior to her music career. Like, you know, she was around them type of people, and, you know, maybe she's not specifically knowing the cats that are down in the street doing it, but she knows the older cats, the cats that have money behind it, dudes our age, you know what I mean? Like, people like that are older that she knows that are in charge of that, because the kids out in the street shooting aren't handling the books and doing the finances for the movement. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not doing their own books for the rap career. So the people that are the money people behind them, they're the ones that she's probably familiar with, and it's about getting money. That's it. But people like to forget that, you know, this is real life. You know, this isn't TV. We've been so desensitized to watching TV now. Anything on a screen to us doesn't seem like it's like got a bad side to it. It's just entertainment to us, but people die over shit like that. You know, this is music that's actually talking about people shooting people in the street. I mean, like, that's it. Like, I don't know. I don't think it'll ever pick up and become super popular. But then again, these days it doesn't matter. It's not like advertising has to get behind you to be popular. The internet makes people famous, and their music is really hot right now. You know, it's a whole scene, but it's just a wild a wild scene because these cats are real. Like I think that's what the real entertainment out of it is for a lot of people, is the fact that these dudes are real. These dudes are talking about the shit that they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, people, I don't know. I don't know if it's an American thing or if it's just a people thing, but people seem to respect that. They don't really care who the other person is. All they know is that you're out doing your thing, and to them it's entertaining, and they want to continue to hear it, and they're into it, and they know that real people are getting hurt behind it, and they don't care. I listen to some of it, and I don't care either. It's a strange thing, you know what I mean? It's strictly entertainment to us, but it's real life to a decent amount of people, and it's just a strange category. It's a strange thing to be in.
These kids are falling into it left and right. You know, I got a son. My son is you know, he live with he's in Brooklyn, you know, most of the time. And
how old is he?
He's 11.
Oh, all right. Jesus.
But,
that's
he was talking about get sturdy. And I said, what's that? He started doing the dance, the little gang dance that they be doing when they go down to the ground and shit like that. I went, oh, see, that's the shit I'm talking about. You feel me? Because that's how they get the kids. Like, your shit look cool and everything else. But then they find out, oh, it ain't all about dancing, homie.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Yeah, they always have a popular trend. You know what I mean? You got the Crip walk. You know, you got the Woo walk. Like, you know, that everybody's got their own little.
For real.
But there ain't no dance troupe out there. That's different shit, though. Like, people know what comes with that. You know, like, you start twirling on people like it's different. Like, they're doing that for a reason.
Yeah. Yo, and I'm like,
don't dance.
Yeah, they stomping on. I don't know what they doing, but I know it's some bullshit.
You know what they doing. I've been bullshit. I don't know what they're doing. But I heard on the internet.
456 Casino, in your opinion, what do you think has to happen for this to stop in the neighborhoods that is happening in? Man,
they're going to run out of people.
It's not stopping, but we could always not induce it and not promote it or whatever else. You know, as long as it's poverty, it's going to be those type of issues. But right now, it's turning into some next.
I think it's always going to be a genre. It's going to have to be people who don't have cases. You know what I mean? That's who's going to wind up sticking around in it. It's people who have never gotten caught, never gotten arrested, never had an issue, never had a body around them necessarily with, you know, or their paperwork having to do with a body. And then they're out here singing about it and get caught. But like, it's going to be people who just never got caught. I don't think it'll go away. I think there will always be drilled songs. You know what I mean? Something's going to pop up all the time for it. I think it's just going to be a new genre from now on. It's one of those.
I don't think he's talking about drill music. I think they talk about the murders and that's involved with
just that. In general. With it'll fizzle out. The notoriety will fizzle out when the music is not in the mainstream like it is right now. You know what I mean? And like however long it takes where it slows down, because you have to understand the cops are going to come in and clean that all up. You know, the hip hop cops. Everybody says it like it's a joke. That's a legit thing. You know what I mean? There's money behind that. There's city money behind that. And these dudes, they don't fucking play around. You know what I mean? Like they're getting real information all day long. They arrest people left and right off of it. They get a lot of information out of rappers, because rappers out here talking about everything.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about everything. Like, are you crazy? Shut your fucking mouth. Like,
for real. But you don't think
insane. It's
the
insane.
Fact that K-Flock went to jail, and then they got all these videos about him. Oh, he did this, he did that. You don't think these kids are watching this, and then in the back of their brain, they're like, "Fuck it, I could do that too. I would be that too, or whatever else." And it's like getting, you know, like almost becoming an obsession for a lot of these kids to get that street fame and that glorious street fame in their eyes until they in that 6x6 cell and they like, oh, I fucked up. It's over.
And even if let's say you do make it through and you never go to jail, right? And your entire career is just based on you shooting and killing people and the shit that you do in the street. Yo,
go ahead. My bad. Sorry. Matt going to join us for this last half hour, but my bad. Go ahead.
Let's say they wind up never getting arrested and have, say, a 10-year career, and fucking their whole career is all about shooting people, and all the wild ass shit they do. Like, who's gonna fuck with that man? Like, who you gonna hang out with that dude? Like, is that dude that you're gonna call up and like want to smoke a hell with, take a ride? Like, fucking crazy.
These kids, man, they wild, yo. What you think, man? We talk about the drill scene.
Oh yeah, I've been listening in. I was out there handling a couple little things. I mean, I had to charge my phone and shit, but I've been tuning in. But yeah, man, I'm thinking this shit is crazy. I agree 100% what you guys are talking about. These kids see that stuff as being cool. You know what I mean? And the fact is, it's not cool. You know what I mean? It's not cool to teach our kids that. We should be teaching them about finances. You know what I mean? They credit. You know what I mean? But shit is just so wishy-washy, and it's crazy. So I totally agree. I'm for the drill music. I ain't gonna lie. I do like the drill music. I'm not gonna lie. It get me turned. But I know that these youngers is out here. They really going crazy. You know what I mean? They really out here standing on it.
Who's your favorite ones?
Oh man, like you said, right now I'm listening to K Flock, Dougie B. You know what I mean? I'm listening to the Bronx drill. I'm tapped in. I know how to get sturdy and all that. You know what I mean? I be doing the dancing, and my son, he like that type of stuff too. And he's only 6. You know what I mean? And that's the type of shit he likes right now. And then, but I'm still
like a hybrid of all of the gangs, all of the everything street.
Yeah,
hybrid and into that drill stuff, the music, and the beats is all pumped up and it's all
right.
And it's like insane, and they display a lot of energy too.
Yeah, they on demon time in a lot of their songs. You know what I mean?
Yo, see this whole drill rap obviously is its own thing, but just that whole pumped up energy that goes through rap now. When you see kids like I don't know, just like Travis Scott. My God, that kid turns the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
He's turned up. He is.
Yo, but all he's done has taken like the alternative rock scene that came up in the 90s.
Right.
That was like the shit that I grew up listening to. Like the first concert I went to was the scariest place I've ever been in my entire life. You know what I mean? Like the first like real deal heavy concert I went to see was Slipknot, like 2 years before their album came out. Well, that place was fucking terrifying. It was insane in the concert, but just like people are just into that. You know what I mean? Like they've taken that energy and they've turned that into rap music, which is just scary because it's awesome. It's like you said, it's demon time. Like they're getting wild. You know what I mean? They're getting wild. Yeah. But it's crazy because their violence behind it is no joke. Like it's
right. It's like it's real. Like, but as fans, you don't want to believe that it's real. You just thinking that it's like, because I remember growing up. I'm a '90s baby. So I remember growing up in the 90s where, you know what I mean, you still had your guys, you know what I mean? Cameron, I listened to Dipset, I listened to 50, and 50 was that guy. Like, he was going against these people too behind closed doors, you know what I'm saying? And industry was scared of him. Like, damn,
this got money, and when there's money behind it, you can And
I just listened to an interview with Tony Yayo, and he was explaining that, like, he felt invincible. He was already a street dude, but when they start getting money, he felt even more invincible because now they could buy the bulletproof cars. Now they can do how they can move discreetly and still, you know what I mean?
It literally becomes whatever, whenever. You know what I mean? And when you can ride behind that, you're 10 feet tall, and that's scary.
Yeah.
People are afraid of you.
Facts. Yeah. I agree 100%.
But these dudes were around 6 months later to drop another album.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And their plan was they had a 10-year plan. You know what I mean? At least a 5-year plan. Like these cats are finishing the song and they're literally like, yo, we gotta slide. It's 9:30. Like, we gotta get that cat. He gets home for 20 minutes.
Certain things, people took certain sacrifices to take this New York drill to the next level because you think about Pop Smoke.
Yeah. Shit.
That right there was tragic to me because that was about to be so lit. Like
he was about to be so big. He
was going to be the next 50 Cent, and I don't think yo, he is definitely harder than 50 was coming in. Like 50 did his thing, you know what I mean? But Pop Smoke runs with known men and does things, you know what I mean? Like,
that's why 50 put his arm around him. He seen it in him.
50 executive produced that album, but that's why
he jumped in and finished his first album, you know what I mean? Like, he's the one who finished his album for him, and that shit was fire. Like,
it was. It's still
I remember hearing a hook once of a song that I didn't know yet, and I was like, is that 50? And I kept listening, and I was like, it's not 50 Cent, but it sounds like him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he just took Smoke and just made that album sick. But like,
he started
going that route. He was about that. Like, I'll never forget the first thing I ever seen of him was when he smacked that dude in the store. That video.
That's
oh my god! Fuck his face. Like, I was like, yo, this dude is nuts. And then I heard his music, and I was like, oh, that's him. All right. Like, and then fire. And then of course, died. Like, that shit was tragic. He was about to be the next one.
He was.
He was the first one to make those, start using the UK beats and shit.
Right.
You know, and then it started changing the sound.
Yeah, he did.
About his sacrifices, he went and got murdered. And when he got murdered, then everybody started really looking at that whole, started looking at Brooklyn and started looking at New York more.
Yeah.
But he got hit by a 14-year-old kid, OT. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, bro. Like, that's crazy.
That's just some weak shit.
It was a whole story. It's a whole thing behind
the whole
story, man.
It's a whole thing. But I'm just saying, in the end, it's a 14-year-old kid gets him when he's in vacation in the Hollywood Hills. Like, I mean,
chilling, turned up from
a party. Those kids, that's the ultimate slide, and they caught him slipping.
They did.
Like, and he had the burner there too. Like, he wasn't very far from it when they.
But he was fresh out the shower. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't. He didn't. He couldn't get to his shit, but he was still doing this thing.
Nah, they said you're supposed to have it in your shower with you too. I heard.
If you're about that, you're about that. Like, yo, you tell me Billy the Kid. You tell me Billy the Kid didn't take a shower with his gun right.
But he in LA, he comfortable. He don't got.
How many dudes been hitting the shower?
No ops. We love him.
Catch him on the toilet, easy. But nice slide.
Like, for sure. R.I.P. man.
But when he died, then more eyes went on New York, and then guess what? And then K Flocka allegedly caught that body, and now everybody looking, and it's concentrated on the Bronx. But it's funny how that shit work. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, there's major sacrifices gotta happen for people to look at you over there and look at your gang as they serious. And these kids really know that they looking at our gang like it's a joke. You know, that type of shit is just unfortunate. You feel me?
Like,
wow. Yo, we believe you. Stop shooting each other.
I know, bro. Like, damn. You know what I think? I want music to go at. They need to just live off men. You know what I mean?
We need
just stand on.
We need someone to come out. We need someone to come out and just talk about how throwing hands is the way to go.
Oh yeah, facts. We got.
You can kill him once. You can kill him once, and chances are they're not even going to know what happened. But better to whoop someone's ass and let him go home and see his mother, and then wake up the next day after that and be hurting. Like, and then it could happen again in 3 days. Like, that's a little harder than shooting at somebody, and then you go to jail forever. Like, that's
right. We do need to take the fight. We got to bring that back. But you know what it is? These dudes ain't never been in no fights for real, you know.
No, so they're afraid to take a beating. That's the bottom line.
Exactly. And now with the camera phones and all that stuff, people gonna record it, put them on the gram or the internet in some way, shape, or form, and then they going. Even if they are nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like, they whole community going, no, they got their ass beat, and they feel like they're gonna take a loss as a man or some. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but. Cause I'll throw up my hands, you know what I mean. If it's just some regular shit, but if it's super violent,
it ain't really just that either. It's the fact that they say they made it a stigma on it to where it's not cool, it's lame.
Yeah,
like, nigga, I ain't fighting.
Yeah. They throw it in the record. They throw it all in the records.
Yeah. They made it.
I ain't fighting.
To where it's lame. To where you fighting though.
You fighting. You a lame. You can just shoot this nigga. Get it over with.
I mean, yeah, but like, yeah. All right, then you got to go and stand on that for the next 10 to 15, like
next 25.
With real killers. We're real killers.
No,
real killers.
it is real.
with grown men who want to fuck you just to show you ain't shit.
Nah, for sure.
They're not even about
For
that,
sure.
but they're just gonna do it just to let you know what time it is.
Nah,
That's real shit. You know what I mean?
nah,
Like,
it is.
yo, you're out here.
Yeah.
You've seen these videos. Like, you see all these these inmate YouTubers now. You know, the guys that got out, did their bids, and now they're out there talking about it. There's big channels that do it. 23-1.
Yeah.
Sentence. You know what I mean? These guys are making videos. There's a bunch of videos out there about it. And like, you don't want to go through that. These guys tell you flat out you don't want to go through that. You know what I mean? And they let you see the funny side of it. But like, Jake shows you everything about it. Like, that shit was real. Like, I could never handle going through that kind of shit. That shit changes you as a person. And that tells you you don't want to go to a place like that. Like, that's shit.
Yeah.
It's about just rap music. It's about what these dudes are telling you happened to them. That's wild shit. Like, I don't know. You don't want to go through all that.
The fact is,
and then they find out it sucks.
In the wrong direction, and then we keep going, and that's why I was talking about how Cardi B did that, because it's pushing the whole thing up to another level.
It did.
I ain't mad. It's all gravy and everything else, but I'm saying, like, we going into it ain't about fighting. They're going further away from that. They're getting away from that, and it's about clapping. It ain't about no little gun. They going further away from that.
Yeah.
It ain't about no one clip. They're going further away from that. They get into the 100-round clips after
them drums.
30 rounds before. Now it's all about drums.
Let me ask you a question.
Tell you
Let me ask you, if you want to kill somebody, why do you need 100 rounds to do it? Are you that bad of a shot? Like, have these guys fired a rifle before?
How messed up this whole thing is, because it's an image for everything. Like I said, how they made fighting lame. They made the one shot.
They made having a regular clip lame.
They made having a regular clip lame.
You can't even have a regular clip no more. They're gonna clown you.
If you die from one shot. Yo, did you hear that dude in Chicago when they caught him out there, homie? 64 shots in his body, fresh out of jail. As soon as he walk out the
I did hear about that.
KTS Dre, and he's from Cutthroat. KTS and his brother KTS Vaughn got killed too, but they was beefing with No Limit. And he, as soon as he stepped out of jail, his mom and his girl was picking him up. Them dudes hopped out for him, sprayed him down, some shots in his body.
Like
you know what I love? You know what I love? How names of crews have been recycled now. You know? NFL, right? Like, you have all these crew names that are being reused again. I find that funny. They're all the same names again.
But that's what I'm saying about these guns, homie. It's a terrible thing, and that's just what it is with these kids nowadays. But we got positive hip hop out there too, and we mainly talk about hip hop here. But
it doesn't even need to be positive. It's just you don't need to be out there doing it. Like, it's called entertainment. Like, you're trying to get money, you're trying to have a life, not make like if you want to just kill people. Why the fuck are you making music about it? What do you care? What do you care? You know what I mean? Just go fucking handle your business and do that. Like, take care of that, man, and do that. And be that guy, but like, don't make a song about it. Just fucking do it.
Is we got access to a lot of information, and we do research on everybody, and then you get a video. Oh, this guy's a fucking he was a
just because he's out there shooting people, what the fuck why does that make him a good rapper? It doesn't. You know what I mean?
It don't, because the bars are, you know what I mean.
But like you said earlier, B-Rad, you said nobody's coming with weak bars nowadays. Everybody could do it because rap is, it's getting older now. So everybody,
rap has been around. Rap has been around, and no matter where you go in this country, it doesn't matter what color you are, what race you are, what your religion is. There's just certain places where if you live there, you need to be about that. There's people that are about that from every fucking culture. It's a different breed of people, and to be honest, those are not the people you want to fuck with. They're not the people you want to hang out with. They don't be making music.
They not rapping neither.
These are not people that are like social ass fucking people. You know what I'm saying? They kill people for a living or for fun. Like, no. But you might get one book in like 40 years. You know what I mean? And the dude who writes it for him is scared as fuck because he thinks this guy's gonna whack him. these are real killers. They're not people you really want to be around, you know.
Yeah,
But they just take it too far. Like these cats think that they got to push the limits and be about that, or they're just in a crew of kids that came up and have no respect for life whatsoever, and they've never been given a reason to respect life, and that therein is the problem. Like there's a really bad reason why this type of music even exists, because it is a culture, and it's young children in the street playing with high-powered rifles, shooting at each other. It's fucking, it's terrible.
Yeah, that's not funny.
It's terrible.
Yeah, they ain't got no
terrible
aim.
at the root of it. But the music fucking slams. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real. It's legit, and that's what people respect about it, is that it's real. It's real.
Hell yeah.
You know, it's
a fact. That's a fact.
It's wild to hear. It's truly entertainment. It is dark and it's kind of scary. You know that we're into this, but like it's real. Like we live in certain places where like if you want to be about that life and you want to go out and do that, like people are gonna be opposed to that. And
facts.
when you live in a place like New York City, guns are resorted to very easily. And know that
it's super illegal
about that, and that's wild shit to us. That's why the news is on. That's why the news has a business, because people do wild shit. So it's definitely going to be around. It's always been around. Rap music has always talked about that part of business, that part of the game. You know, that part of the street. Because it happens on a daily basis. You know, don't pretend like it doesn't happen. It's such a common epidemic that's been going on for years, and nobody's stopping it. Just like drugs, and that's why rap music exists in the first place. It's just people explaining what's going on around them. People getting shit every day. The news is right now. The shit they talk about, like there was 12 mass shootings, like
crazy.
You know, but like
just back to back,
just somebody rolling up on a crowd and just spraying. You know what I mean? And they're killing 3 people and hurting 12. Like that's crazy. And they did it in Philly. They did it somewhere else. They did it in Miami. Like Texas. Like they're doing it all over the place. Like people are upset right now, and they're acting real different, and they're out there really hurting people because nobody's doing shit about it. Like, killers are getting let out. You know what I mean, on a daily basis. You know, and if you got something going on the street, like people are handling their business now. They're tired of that. Don't do shit. People are into it. Savage times right now.
Damn, you're right about that.
Rap music, that's what rap music is. Rap music has always been an indicator for what's really going on with people. And that's what's going on. Like people are going hard.
Yeah, but back in the day, can you agree that back in the day it was all like a gimmick? It wasn't, I mean, we had some dudes that were really out there doing that, but majority of them really wasn't doing that. Rap back in like the 90s and 2000s was really real music, as far as like it wasn't always directed towards violence. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays that's all it's like. You're not even gonna have a hit if they don't got just even a little ounce of violence in it. Like
they took the genre, they took it
serious.
They took the genre, which was, you know, it was a part of gangster rap, and you talked about like, you know, having guns and if necessary going to it, but like, really didn't have to come to that. And if it did, everybody got wiped out and people weren't left to talk about it. You know what I mean? But they were just talking about people that live like that. But there are people obviously that live like that. There's people right now that move insane amounts of drugs, and then they have a problem with somebody. Their whole crew gets done up, and whoever's left probably gets a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's how that goes.
And the biggest song is Jack Harlow.
Right. Jack Harlow doing this shit.
There's no violence in his lyrics. You know. So, it's just a genre, like you said. You know,
man.
And seems easier for him. You know, I don't know. Like,
because
if anybody can just drop the bullshit, it's Jack, because I don't know. I just think a lot of these guys that are out there can't just walk away from this. Like they can quit, but like, they're still in the game.
They still got 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
They're gonna be somebody else's lyric now, like, and that's it. So you can't walk away from that shit. If you can walk away from that shit, then you ain't done shit.
But you got, at some point it got to change, and I feel like that's where it's going, and that's what they doing now to stop all that stuff going on. They starting to to now come in. You know what I mean? I feel like rap is going to change over the few years that's coming up. Like
this happened though. This happened in the early '90s in LA. People were like between the Bloods and the Crips, they were dropping people every day. Like it was insane. It was mass genocide committed on
in every
like a 20-block range.
And now it's everywhere.
You know, but that specific movement that ended. You know what I mean? It did end eventually. Eventually, the people that were involved in it couldn't handle. I can't say couldn't handle. They just didn't want it. You know what I mean? They just got tired of it and they were done with it. And the people that ended under them didn't want to get involved in that shit either. Like, it's insane. It was insanity, but it kind of has to run its course. It's kind of like a war. You know what I mean? It's a small war. It's like a village going to it with another.
And they still killing each other in LA too.
They got issues. You know what I mean? It goes back to ancient times when you lived in a village, a small community of people, and you handled your business. And if there was a neighboring community that impeded upon your life, you went to war and you took them out. And that's all it is these days. It's pockets of small villages within culture. You got your people. You know, you got about 25 to 40 people you fuck with in entirety. That's your village. And when your village has a problem with another one, you go and handle that business, and that's it. And that's what it is today. It's just on a grander scale. It's kind of wild to watch, actually. But that's all it is. We're people, and people are a warring culture in general, especially Americans, because we have guns and we have property and we own shit. We have something to live for. We have something to die for. We got something to lose, so we fight for it. That's all it is. That's all it is.
That's all it is, y'all. And on that note, you know, it was another good show. Appreciate all, you know, the couple people that checked in, and we appreciate the people that will be watching this.
Yes, sir.
It's Father's Day today. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Take the day off. Take the day off. Like, clean your guns today. Let's chill. We'll get at it tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have some surprises. So good looking to all my peoples. That's all. Thank you, Mac, and thank you, B-Rad. You know,
yes, sir.
And that was another one you heard. Peace.